Oh yes, E-King Fight News back at it. And that's right, Paulie Malignaggi is once again calling McGregor out for a boxing match. McGregor has a built-in fight uh, as him and Paulie basically went to war in preparation for a Floyd Mayweather fight. And Paulie Malignaggi has been begging the UFC to release the whole sparring footage that they have. That hasn't happened yet. Instead, Dana White released clips that showed Malignaggi getting tapped up, getting lit up by McGregor and knocked down. And by the looks of Paulie's face, he definitely got his he definitely got hit, to say the least. Worst case, he got his ass whooped, especially during, as he admitted, Conor got the best of him during their first sparring session. So, it's interesting because, as Malignaggi says, this truly is a bigger money fight than anything he'd make in the UFC. Why? Well, if you consider the amount of pay-per-views he just did with Floyd Mayweather alone, and you also consider that a lot of people consider that a very good performance from McGregor, even though he did get stopped in the 10th round. If he were to come back and get a victory over Paulie Malignaggi, that could set him up for another. Just think about the potential future money that McGregor could win for himself if he beat a guy like Malignaggi. Even if he beat anybody. If he beat anybody in a pay-per-view boxing fight, it's a big deal. Because McGregor ain't no boxer. Plain and simple, he's not. Malignaggi is, albeit a retired one. But he's still a fighter. And let's take a look. Let's take a look at what Malignaggi had to say. I know Al Heyman is talking to the UFC. Al Heyman is the premier, most powerful man in boxing. He's the power broker that is involved in any big pay-per-view fight. He's got the biggest stable in boxing and has started the trend of boxing back on network television, Fox, ESPN, NBC, you name it. This is all the doing of Al Heyman. And apparently he's been talking to UFC President Dana White. According to Paulie, he knows they're speaking. So if they want to make the fight, then they'll make it. Once Paulie spoke to Al and Team Heyman, they told him that they wanted to make this fight. And Paulie is saying the only way it doesn't get made is if Conor McGregor has no balls. That's Paulie. He's a New Yorker and he's always had a big mouth. And more often than not, his mouth has gotten his ass whooped. More often than not. But he has been able to hold up somewhat. And he, overall in Malignaggi's career, he's lost the majority of his big fights. He beat Zab Judah. He beat Juan Diaz. Malignaggi's. I saw Malignaggi on the come up, and I knew he would be a very notable fighter. I was not sure if he would be a great fighter, and more often than not, he was not a great fighter. But he is a supremely skilled boxer, and even as a retired one, he should be able to beat a guy like Conor McGregor. So let me know what you guys think. McGregor versus Malignaggi in a boxing match. Do you want to see it? That's the question. And the other question is, would you pay for it? E-King Fight News.